How would you answer this question? Complete the following table. So we're given a table here. In the first column, we have the type of iron. We have an aluminium 3+ iron, and oxygen 2- iron. Then we are given the atomic mass number of both ions, the aluminium 3+ and the oxygen 2-, as well as the atomic number for both aluminium 3+ and oxygen 2-. So the atomic mass number for aluminium 3+ is 27. Its atomic number is 13. The atomic mass number for oxygen 2- is 16. And the atomic number for oxygen 2- is 8. Our job is to complete these 3 columns here. So we need to find what is the number of protons for both these 2 ions, and what is the number of electrons for both, and what is the number of neutrons. Before we can answer this question, let's revise a few things about neutral atoms. So before we can talk about ions which have lost or gained electrons, we must first establish a few things about neutral atoms, especially neutral atoms of aluminium and oxygen. What do I mean, or what do we mean when we say that an atom is neutral? So neutral atoms are those whereby the number of protons is equal the number of electrons. So number of protons equals number of electrons. Additionally, we can write, this is how you can essentially write what we call the standard notation for a neutral atom. So you write it something like this, whereby X represents the chemical symbol for that specific atom, A is the atomic mass number, and Z is the atomic number. For an example, the standard notation for a neutral aluminium atom will be written something like this, where we have the symbol for aluminium, the chemical symbol Al. Here we have Z, which is the atomic number of aluminum, and then there at the top we have the atomic mass number A of aluminum. But I want to bring your attention to Z, or 13 for aluminium. So Z does not only tell us the atomic number of an atom, it also tells us the number of protons. So this tells us that aluminum has 13 protons. And as I have already mentioned, in a neutral atom, the number of protons is equals the number of electrons. This means that in a neutral aluminium atom, we have 13 protons, as we are told by this Z, which is the atomic number, and we also have 13 electrons, because a neutral atom has the same number of protons as it does the same number of electrons. So in a neutral aluminum atom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 protons. And we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 electrons. This means for a neutral atom, as I've mentioned, you have the same number of protons, which is equals to the same number of electrons. Or you have the same number of protons as you do the same number of electrons. So the number of protons in a neutral aluminum atom, or in any neutral atom, is equals to the number of electrons. To form an aluminium 3+ ion, this neutral aluminium atom must lose 3 electrons. So we must remove 1, 2, 3 electrons. When we do that, we can now see that we are left with still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 protons. but the number of electrons has decreased, meaning we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 electrons left. So you see, for an ion, the number of protons is not the same as the number of electrons. And in this case, we have lost 3 electrons. What does this tell us? This tells us that now we have an excess amount of protons. We have an extra amount of 1, 2, 3 electrons. Hence, we must now write this aluminium ion as aluminium 3+, because we have an excess and extra in comparison to the number of electrons. We have an extra 1, 2, 3 protons. I hope that makes sense. So this tells us that aluminium 3+ has 10 electrons and it has 13 protons. We must still find the number of neutrons. So we have that aluminium 3+ has 13 protons. Write 13 here. And it has 10 electrons. So we'll write 10 here. And as I said, we must now find the number of neutrons. The atomic mass number, which is this number of a neutral atom or even an ion, is equals to the number of protons Z plus the number of neutrons N. So that A is equals to the number of protons Z plus the number of neutrons N. So we have the atomic mass number. We already established what Z is. Z is the same as the number of protons, which is also the atomic number. So we need to find N. To find N, we will simply say that N, or the number of protons, N equals to the atomic mass number minus the number of protons. So the atomic mass number, which is 27, minus the number of protons. Remember, atomic number and the number of protons are the same. So how much is that? We have 27 minus 13. And if you say 27 minus 13, you will get a value of about 14. So from this, we have established that aluminium 3+ ion has an atomic mass number of 27, an atomic number of 13, which is also the same as the number of protons, which is 13. But because it has lost 3 electrons, hence it is aluminium 3+. It has an excess of 3 extra protons in comparison to the electrons. So it has 10 electrons. And it also has 14 neutrons. Let's now move our attention to neutral oxygen. Neutral oxygen has an atomic number of 8, Z, and an atomic mass number of 16, A, and this is the symbol for it. So neutral oxygen has, as I mentioned, an atomic number of 8, which is Z, meaning it has 8 protons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But because it is neutral, this tells us that it has its number of protons will be equals to its number of electrons. So in essence, it will also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons. Now, how do we form oxygen 2- from this neutral oxygen? To do that, we must add 2 electrons. So we must add 2 electrons. We add electron number 1, electron number 2. And if we count, we see that for oxygen 2- we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 protons. That's fine. But now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 electrons. So it means on this side we have an excess of 2 electrons. Hence we will write it as oxygen 2-. So as in the case of aluminum, we said how many electrons? It's 8. We just complete that. We say it's 8. How many electrons? 1, 2, 3. We said it's about 10. Now we have to find the number of neutrons for oxygen 2-. As I said earlier, to find the number of neutrons, we must say the atomic mass number A of that atom or even an ion minus the number of protons, which is the same as the atomic number Z. So for oxygen 2-, we will say it is the atomic mass number 16 minus the number of protons. So it will be 16 minus 8, which will give us 8. So the number of neutrons in an oxygen 2- ion is 8. And this brings us to the end of this video.